Alright, so as you can see here, I already moved the wood chips out of the way and cleared a little area here where I'm going to dig, and that's where I'm going to set the logs down, and then I'm going to layer it with I've got a lot of wood chips that I use for litter in the chicken coop, so they poop on it all year, and I take it out about every 6 months. So I have some stuff inside the coop. I have some stuff inside the coop and some stuff right here on the outside of the coop that we can go ahead and incorporate in this garden bed, along with plenty of logs and sticks and stuff that I cut down from around the yard. And then we'll just put these wood chips right back on top of it and water it real good and help it start decomposing, so that in the spring we can go ahead and plant some stuff in there. This is some wood chips that I put in my chicken coop as like a deep litter method, so that way I don't have to deal with their chicken poop and clean out the coop. They can just do their business right here on all these wood chips, and then it turns it into compost. They kick it around and you come and get it a few months later, and it's all nice and composted, and that carbon absorbs all the poop so it doesn't stink. And I get a good resource like this. So we're going to put this right on top of the wood, because it's got a lot of nitrogen in it, for sure. And the wood's going to tie up nitrogen as it decomposes. So this will help us compensate for that. Alright, we're going to come back around and kind of work it in, tuck it into these cracks a little bit. Next phase, we have a lot of yard garbage that I was collecting this morning. some clippings from my pomegranate, some clippings from this, whatever that thing's called, Lucina tree, an old peach tree that died over the summer, a couple branches from the mulberry, some leaves from the sugar cane, and what's left of the hyacinth beans, Indian beans. So we have a little bit of stuff to throw on top here. And then we'll probably turn the chickens loose out in the yard, and we'll rake up all these wood chips to put on top of the yard scraps. Alright? Alright, now would probably be a good time to wet it down. Make sure we can get the middle nice and soaked before we make it too deep. Right now I am charging the Hugelkultur Mound with water, which is something I probably should have done yesterday as I was building it. Layer by layer, I should have saturated it real good to make sure that those logs were wet and all the material was wet and all this chicken litter that I threw on there was nice and wet. So it might be a little difficult to get it saturated now that we already put it all together because it's pretty thick. So I stuck it in over here at the end of the row. Oh look, it's actually got some water building up, that's good. Cool, so then I dug a little hole in the middle and I'm pouring it in from there. And I'll probably do 5 or 10 minutes over here on this end too. But that's a good sign now that there's water over here, so then we'll know that at least the low part where the logs are resting is nice and wet. And then we'll let it sit. Okay, so it's been about 3 weeks since we built the Hugelkultur Mound, and today we're just going to put the finishing touches on it and cover it up and soak it real good one more time, and we'll let it sit all spring until late spring, early summer, where we'll probably plant like some gooseberries or some sunflowers, or just something easy to put in there to test it out while we're letting it, age. Alright, here we go. Alright, first, in here I have some homemade biochar, which I probably should have added to the chicken litter that we put on top, but we'll just add it now. sitting over here we can get rid of. There's like a quarter bucket of chicken poop that got rainwater in it. I don't really know what to do with it, so we'll pour it on there. Here's a big bucket of compost from that video we made about a month ago when I ran it over with the lawnmower. All those grapefruit trimmings. Big old grub in there. You little girls. Another one. Well, maybe we'll go do it more carefully then. Make sure it's nice and saturated. Especially all that stuff we just put on there was probably pretty dry, so moisten it up. As this matures, it's going to settle down, you know, and you just kind of scoop it at ground level all along the side and throw it right back on top. All those wood chips and all the little amendments and stuff that kind of roll down every time you add them, you reclaim them later. We'll get it wet and we'll let it sit. Alright, there we go. On Hugelkultur Mound. I've never done this before, so we'll document how good it works. But I've followed some other people on YouTube that do this in their backyard and have been doing it for 4 or 5 years, and it works pretty good. So I'm confident that it'll work great here, and you can try it in your backyard too. This method comes from Germany. Obviously, that's why it's called Hugelkultur. And what's going to happen is as these logs break down, they're going to turn into sponges. So in 3 or 4 years, it'll be like a self-watering garden, which will come in handy in our arid climate and help us keep our plants alive in the summer. So, thanks for watching, guys.